Change your mind, change your life. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hadija. It's a pleasure to record this video again. On my channel, I talk about mindset. There is a quote which says that the outside is a mirror of what's going on inside. You change your mind, you change your life. Or you change your mind, the things that you see in your outside world, they also change. Most of us have heard the story of Nelson Mandela. We all know that this person went to prison, but he came out and became the president. How did he do that? We know that being in prison is not an easy thing, and most of us, when we think about it, what comes into our mind is suffering, whether you have been there or not. But we saw in the story of Nelson Mandela that he perceived this in a different way, despite what was going on around him. There were other prisoners like him that chose to see or to believe that their life was doomed, that their future was doomed. Nothing good is going to happen to them. Their lives is going to end there. But when we look at the story of Nelson Mandela, what he did was to change his perception, to change how he looked at the situation that he was in. He was thinking about, how am I going to get out of this place? And what am I going to do when I get out of this place? We know that, or we've heard that the thought of becoming a president or a leader, it all started in the prison. So we don't we believe that it wasn't easy for him, and it's true, it wasn't easy for him. But how did he manage having that prison life, but again made something good out of his life? It all started from his mind. For him to become a leader, it all started in the prison, and it started in his mind, because we know, being in prison is being in one place, not having freedom to a lot of things. But for him, what he did, he used his mind to prepare himself. He used his mind to think about how the life is going to be after prison. How is he going to get out of the prison? He thought of who is going to lead people in the coming years. What if I myself contest to do that? What if I think of becoming a leader? It was his mindset to decide not to think with a victim mentality, but rather to think out of the box. We've also had a story about the two boys that grew up in the same family, of having a drunkard father who was beating them, who made their lives hell. But both of them, when they grew up, they took separate ways into life. I mean, they choose to see the situation that happened to them in a different view. One of those boys decided to be like his father, and the other decided, no, this is not the kind of life that I want. I must choose something different. It wasn't easy for both of them, but because of the mind, we have the capacity to create the life that we want outside, but starting with our mind. Another real example could be that two co-workers might prepare themselves to go for work in the morning, and along the way they face traffic, as it's a day-to-day thing that we all face in our lives. One might take it as a bad thing or something that has ruined their day, and decide to look at the things that are going to happen ahead during that day as bad, or to take the day as bad. And the other person might decide to think of something good during that period when the traffic is going on. And by changing the mind, he says that this is going to be a good day. This traffic that I'm facing now, it's a temporary situation. Okay? I need to stay calm, stay on track, and not let my circumstances or my outside world to determine how my day is going to be. It all starts in the mind, and we all have this power to choose how our outside world is going to look like. But we can do that from the inside, as we all know that we have no control on most of the things that happen to us, because we are not the creators. But the only thing that we can do is to make sure that we have the power to control the things that God gave us to use, and that is our mind, to use it on our benefit, not to use it against us.